As I discovered in my previous video, supplying the world with fresh produce is a complex process, oftentimes involving food coming from around the country and world. This made me curious to see what it would take to forego that, to try to be at least partially self-sufficient. However, there are two main things restricting this. Like most people my age, I rent an apartment and don't own any land. And secondly, I live in Minnesota that has a very limited growing season. With those restrictions, I want to try and miniaturize an entire farm of fresh produce to fit inside an extra closet I have, and allow me to harvest a fresh salad to eat every day of the week, all year long. With this goal, and having no actual idea how to make it happen, I visited a local store, Midwest Hydroponics, for some help. With their expert advice, we came up with a basic plan for making this happen. Maximizing my limited space, I'll need shelving to fill as much of the closet as possible. At the top, hanging from the ceiling, will be a set of grow lights, connected by a series of pulleys, allowing their height to be adjusted to be just above the growing plants, maximizing their utility. On the first level will be a variety of leafy greens that can grow in limited light, such as broadleaf basil, sage, chives, cilantro, and turnip greens. The level below that will be for growing microgreens, with plants such as buckwheat, radishes, and turnips. And then even further below that will be shelves with jars, with seeds that will be regularly sprouted to eat and as a starter for the microgreens. Then at the very bottom will be mushrooms. Besides being for eating, they'll also help produce CO2 to help the plants grow. With this setup, they suspected I could get a cycle of at least 5 days worth of food per week, if not more. The shelving, lighting, planting containers, and growing medium are a pretty significant upfront cost. But running a rough estimate of the ongoing operational expenses from fertilizer, seeds, and electricity, even comparing this to a cheap salad from Walmart, this setup could easily pay for itself in about a year, all while producing the freshest possible salad, going from farm to plate without even leaving your apartment. That's the ambitious plan, and like most things I've attempted, this one had a few challenges, even just in getting set up. Ran into a little bit of an issue here. I measured the width of the closet to get the maximum shelving I could fit in there. But what I didn't figure was that the walls are sloped. So it's actually an inch narrower at the bottom here. Plus, there's a floorboard, which loses another inch. So I had measured a 33-inch width. It's actually 31 inches at the base. So, my shelving does not quite fit. I'm gonna try and just take off the bottom shelf and hopefully push everything and it'll still fit. A little bit more of a pain than I expected. To protect the walls and floor of my closet, I used a plastic liner. I can take a shower in here. How's it work out? With the shelving and closet all set, I could get my seeds started. For a growing medium, I used coconut husk. Then, after maturing for a few weeks, I transfer them to their full-size pots. Next, I set up the lighting. 4 lights attached to a wooden frame, held from the ceiling with pulleys. To grow the microgreens, I use mason jars to soak and sprout the seeds, before then transferring them into the trays with a thin layer of coconut husk. For the mushrooms, I use a kit that required you to mix the mushroom culture with the rest of the substrate. Then it was just a matter of watering and waiting for everything to grow. Alright, so this is kind of the trial salad. Doing a first run of growing the microgreens and some of the sprouts. So I've never actually had microgreens or sprouts before. So hopefully I'll like them, because by doing this project, I'm basically signing up for a lifetime of this. Not bad. Kind of tastes like grass. Not horrible. Very fresh, very green. Got a nice crunch from the seeds. So the guy at the store said that I should probably remove them from long-term eating, because if you eat enough of them, they are likely to give you kidney stones. And he's actually talking from experience, because he said he got kidney stones. So this is my first batch, and the next one won't be ready for some time. I'm just gonna eat them with them because I'm lazy. I don't know how I'm gonna feel after I eat this every single day for a whole year, or however long I do this for, but so far so good. This is actually not too bad. Better than I thought it would be. So far so good. Ate it all. Liked it. So that's the first meal I grew from my closet. Despite the secluded location in a closet, I still occasionally got some pests that got in the way. At this point, it's been a few months since I started this project, and at this point I was hoping it would be a complete salad a day, but keep running into issues. So the latest issue is that the light securement to the ceiling has broken off, and now they're just kind of sitting there, probably overheating a lot of the plants. In general, I am running into issues with things not growing too well. A lot of the stuff that I planted has just died off. Part of the issue I do have is that it's very difficult to water inside this closet. I'm not sure if I'm watering enough. I'm also not used to the coconut hull soil, so how much water I need to give, if I'm giving too much or too little, is something I'm not too knowledgeable about. So my last batch of microgreens ended up kind of dying off. I might have waited too long on them, I'm not really sure, but after they kind of died off and got moldy and died, I've kind of stopped growing all of the microgreens because I wanted the full growing plants to catch up. But a lot of them have just kind of stalled. A lot of them have died. Not really sure what's going on. I'm still kind of figuring this whole thing out. And overall, it's kind of taking a lot longer than I had hoped. But I'm gonna figure this out. I was a little afraid the salad might get a bit boring, so I tried growing some radishes to add some flair to it. Unfortunately, I don't think they're able to get enough light to produce anything of substance. After some setbacks, I thought I'd try moving it out of the closet while I was away traveling in Utah. Set this up as kind of a makeshift setup to help grow while I'm gone, hopefully get a little bit more light from the closet. So at this point, it's actually worked pretty good. There might be a few different factors. I think the main one is just having them out here, I'm able to pay closer attention to them and make sure they get watered enough and check up on them better. Because in the closet, I would often forget about it. It would be difficult to water the ones in the back, so they might not necessarily get enough water. And then secondly, they're getting extra light from the sun. This is probably helping. And I have all of them right next to the light, where before they're on 2 layers, which probably wasn't giving them enough light apparently. So at this point I actually have a pretty good crop, and I think I can start harvesting a lot of these. Now knowing these failures and having some success, I'm gonna try moving them back into the closet, because this kind of jerry-rig setup with beer bottles is not working the greatest. They've kind of outgrown it, and it's taking up a lot of room. And I wanna get back to the kind of original goal of keeping in the closet, out of the way, out of sight, and hopefully I won't forget about it this time. Back in the closet, I tried a new watering system, a pressure sprayer, which made it a bit easier to water the far back plants. To achieve a good balance of humidity and heat, closing the door sealed the room too well, but a plastic sheet helped retain the moisture while not overheating. With some of my greens finally ready for harvest, it's time to try the full salad. Unfortunately, in all of the transferring, I lost track of what plants were what.
Ooh.
I ended up a little surprised by the flavor of the turnip greens.
Wow, it's spicy. What is spicy in this? Oh, wow. Oh, it burns.
It definitely has a bit of a zest to it then. I think if I had some microgreens, this would have kind of evened it out better, but compared to the salad I had before of just the microgreens and the sprouts, this is a lot better, I think, a lot more variety. So at this point, this project has ended up being a bit more challenging than I'd originally intended, and I keep running into roadblocks. I'm going to keep going at it though. So at this point, I've finally grown some greens, but it's taken a lot longer than I had originally planned. And altogether, just keeping the consistent flow and everything has been a challenge. I'm still mastering the whole watering, like watering too much, watering too little, letting the roots dry out, adding enough so they don't overwater, and just getting water to that difficult position in the back of the closet. So this is obviously an ongoing project, and I had intended to have it completed months ago, but it is still going on. So at this point, I'm just going to keep trying and hopefully finally master it. And as I fine-tune the full recipe of this, I'm also going to be trying to upgrade a little bit. I think I'm going to look into automated watering systems to kind of solve that big issue I have with that, and then possibly look into growing some other things. I'm going to look into cloning my own mushrooms instead of using a kit, just to do a little bit more from scratch. And I'm also looking into possibly growing algae in addition, which has the potential of turning this into a nutritionally complete meal. And we'll see how compatible it is with the closet format. And if it is, I could potentially just live off of everything I grow in my closet. But so far, not there. So there's no real good conclusion to this video, but I thought this video would be interesting just to see the struggles I'm facing so far. And maybe I get some useful suggestions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe and check out other content we have covering a wide variety of topics. Also, if you've enjoyed these series, consider supporting us on Patreon. We are largely a fan-funded channel and depend on the support of our viewers in order to keep our series going. Thanks for watching.